been a while since I got a video off, and I wanted to do one really quickly to kind of let everybody know where I'm at right now. It's been the last 30 days were actually pretty challenging for me in general, but you know, with this journey going back to school and then trying to figure out the money part and just where you're living and all that, that's to be expected. So school, let's start with school. Right now, classes are going fine. There's really not a whole lot to report as far as that. My English class, I think I'm doing pretty well in it. I have an A based on what's been graded, but quite frankly, it's a little frustrating that we're only about 3 weeks from the class being over, and my instructor has not graded 75% of our work. So it's hard to know if the stuff that I'm writing is good or needs improvement. And we're down to the next 3 weeks where I have 2 essays coming up that are heavily weighted grade wise with very little feedback, if any, to tell me what I need to work on. So I find that a little frustrating. My anthropology class, physical anthropology, is actually extremely interesting. Really, it's an adjunct professor, and she apparently is able to create her own curriculum. And so there's been no textbook. I think I've mentioned that before. Each Saturday she uploads our lesson, and it's got readings and sort of generic labs about bones and things. And the first exam for that is this coming week. As a matter of fact, for the whole week's work, all we've got is the exam, which fits into my schedule pretty well since I've got quite a few things going on right now. That's it for school, honestly. Everything else is going along. My government class hasn't started yet. Pushing through on the Spanish a little bit. And, I'm at that point now, too, where I have to deal. I was originally looking to go back to school or go to finish my bachelor's and transfer in January. But there's not enough money to do that right now. So I will be sort of regrouping on those schools and either pushing acceptance to a later semester, which is fine. I'm sort of in a state of flux. The goal here, no matter what, is to continue to take classes. It will probably have my associates wrapped up, I think I've mentioned before, in January or February. One of the things that I did want to mention was actually about my anthropology class, and it's about our fear and our concerns about what we're smart and what we're not smart at. I last semester over the summer took environmental science, and that was it had a big textbook, it had a huge lab kit. You saw those videos, and some days it was hard for me to get engaged to do them, and I felt ragged and tired with it all the time. And that class definitely followed more of a curriculum style class. But I still walked away with an A because I made a point to do extra credit to make sure that I could, get a good grade and keep my GPA up. That class, though, and what I learned out of that class, my takeaway, has made this anthropology class much easier and, quite frankly, much more interesting. I had no idea that anthropology stretched across so many careers, from being in the archaeological side to forensic sciences, to any sort of historical sites, which is something that interests me, is the historical real estate side. And things like my instructor, she happens to actually work as a contractor for the government. Every time they have a site they want to build on, expand on, it's sitting on dirt or it's an old building, or even questionable building. It could be from the 70s. Quite frankly, that's 40 years old now. She gets called out to determine, is there historical significance? Are there bones on the property? Do they need to be reinterred somewhere else? Just a lot of interesting little bits and pieces. And because her curriculum is more loose, because she created it and was able to create it, you really get a sense of how excited she is about what she does for a living and wanting to engage us as students. So I encourage you. I wasn't originally going to do anthropology. I was going to do geology, and I couldn't get the time schedule to work out. And I read the anthropology, and I thought, it sounds good. I can do that too. And it turned out to be a real gem of a class and pretty interesting takeaway no matter what grade I end up with, obviously shooting for the A and B, but the reality is I actually am getting more personal growth out of this class, and I have more confidence because I was able to power through that environmental science class. So don't let your fear of a different class type or something that seems out of the box get in your way. Sometimes taking, this class fills a science requirement and it's turning out to be a great and interesting class for me, and that's pretty exciting. So sorry about the delay on the videos. I am in Georgia, and so I should be able to get back on track with some of these, and I'll update you how things are going along. Also, I am looking for work as well, or thinking about it, I guess. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But right now, for the month of October, I am here in Georgia working on school, getting ready for my son's wedding, and just figuring out what's going to happen the first of the year as far as school. So I will hopefully next week or later this coming week kind of give you more of a curriculum update on where I'm at on that. And I've got some other ideas, written down that I really want to talk about as far as how you drive your own success when you feel like everything around you is chaotic, whether it's because you're a parent with small children trying to go back to school, or you have a husband, maybe you're newly married trying to go back to school, maybe you're retired and, trying to figure out how to make it work. Maybe you're broke, maybe you have other challenges, health challenges, or whatever that might be that can, we've talked about getting derailed before, and school can be a very good anchor for you to hang on to while all this other stuff in your head or around you is swirling around and you're trying to figure out how to make that work. If you're still treating school as another job or as this responsibility and taking all your and putting a strong emotional strength into it, I think what you get out is extremely valuable, and we'll talk more about that in another video. But I just wanted to tell you all to hang in there and that I am still well and alive, and apologize for being so late posting. So have a wonderful Sunday. Welcome to October. It is fall, y'all. And here in the South, we are having a lovely 80-degree day, so it doesn't even begin to feel like October today. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye.